In episode 92 of Black Clover, it is revealed that William Vangeance and Patry, going by Liszt at the time, were sharing the same body. The series had shown that a member of the Golden Dawn had been helping the Eyes of Midnight, as, in episode 10, one of the members of the Eyes of Midnight is shown wearing a Golden Dawn cloak. The fact that William had allowed this to happen, and had actually helped Patry by not telling Julius about the situation, meant that he had contributed high treason towards the Clover Kingdom, as his passivity had helped the attempt to destroy it. However, following the elves' departure, he was not directly held accountable for the chaos that befell the kingdom. So, why was he not punished? The main reason why he was not punished comes down ultimately to standards, security and perception. If William were removed from the Magical Knights, then the powers that be would also have to purge the other captains that were possessed and hold them to the same account. An example of this is in episode 130, as when William asked to be removed as a captain, he was denied by Julius, as he noted that this would have created a situation where the kingdom would have lacked experienced magic knights for the coming conflict. The loss of William from the Magical Knights would have also exposed the vulnerabilities in the Magical Knights, which was dangerous considering the constant encroachment by the Diamond Kingdom that had been occurring recently, and the increasingly dangerous Spade Kingdom to the north. Furthermore, it would have shattered what was left of the trust that the people had in the Magical Knights, to know that their hero, the leader of the Golden Dawn, had indirectly conspired to kill them. The friendship between William and Julius also played a strong hand in preventing William's punishment, as, although Patry used it as a defence to prevent Julius from fighting at 100% against him, it is unlikely that Julius would severely punish his friend, as shown by attempting to capture Patry rather than kill him during their fight, as it would have killed William. Julius is just too kind for that, as shown by his eccentric personality and drive to improve the lives of the people in the Clover Kingdom. Furthermore, he also knew that from that day onward, William would have had no questions of loyalty towards the Clover Kingdom, and would protect it to the absolute best of his abilities. Thus, by punishing him and having him removed, it would have been counterproductive to the actual improvement of the country. So instead he, and the Magical Parliament, decided to cover up his crimes, and blame it solely on the devil involved. And this was incredibly easy to do as, firstly, the civilians of the Clover Kingdom did not see William actually attack anyone, unlike the other captains that were possessed, due to how William and Patry looked completely different. So much so that even Nozzle, another Magic Knight captain, who was bound to have at least seen William once without his mask on, even said they did not look the same. So it was highly unlikely that many people would have directly linked Patry and William together. That meant that the local population did not see him as the main antagonist and cause of the elf chaos, sparing him from the negative association to the elves that many of his peers had to go through due to their actions when under the elves' control. So the secret that he was in no small part behind the elven incident could remain under wraps, rather than let the Clover Kingdom public know about it. Secondly, the civilians of the Clover Kingdom also saw his tree being used to remove the elves from possessing the Magical Knights, thus associating him with saving the kingdom rather than being the one who condemned it to its destruction, as can be seen in episode 130, when the spectators of the king's announcement proclaim him as the hero who saved the kingdom. The fact that Patry and William's magical attributes are different also contributed to this, as people would not normally associate two people with completely different magical types as being the same person, as William used World Tree magic and Patry used light magic. Finally, something to note is that William was a member of the nobility and was seen as a more moral person because of it, and this is not something to be underestimated, as the society in the Clover Kingdom is very class-centric, with nobles believing that peasants such as Asta and Juno are morally beneath them, as personified in the attitude that Kurtz Vermilion had towards Asta during the Royal Knights tournament. This attitude is compounded in Asta's trial where, according to D'Amato, Asta had to take the fall for the Magical Knights becoming possessed, otherwise they'd all be punished, and it was far easier to blame the incident on a lowly peasant than a nobleman like William. This bias was solidified by how, after Asta refused to take part in this deal, D'Amato brought out Marie, an orphan, to be tried for her crimes, rather than someone like Langris, who had actually attacked the king during the incident. This implicit bias that a fellow member of the nobility could not be behind such dastardly events helped to alleviate William from the blame that should have rightly been his. In conclusion, William was a crucial cog in the Magic Knights. His removal would have sparked outrage, as he was incredibly popular in society, and was only ever seen helping the Magic Knights rather than hindering them. Furthermore, it had caused a rupture in the Clover Kingdom that they could ill afford, given the dangers that the Dark Triad were presenting in the Spade Kingdom to their north. The difference between the magic that William and Patry used, along with the differences in looks, meant that it was easy to cover up William's involvement and instead blame it on the devil, rather than admit that William had undermined the kingdom and had used the lives of the Golden Dawn for Patry's own goals. Thus, William and the Golden Dawn go away with the incident scot-free. Ultimately, however, fate had other plans.